This is Battle and Chase, a Japanese and PAL region rockman racer in the same vein as a Mario Kart. I'm just gonna call it here, this is one of the better kart clones. Tossing Mega Man characters into one of these is an easy layup of an idea, and Capcom delivered. The lady and I had a lot of fun playing this thing one lazy Sunday afternoon, blasting, bobbing, weaving, bombing, and yelling. We're a Sega Sonic Racer household over here, but this kept us entertained for a few hours. On the surface, it's as basic as it gets, but there's some depth under the hood when it comes to vehicle customization. Unfortunately, most of that is stuffed into single player. Why this didn't see an official release in North America is beyond me, and the fact that it didn't get an N64 port with its out-of-the-box 4-player support is downright criminal. But hey, let's focus on what this thing is rather than what could have been. Out of the gate, you're given the option to play as over half a dozen characters from the classic Mega Man series. Rock, Roll, Bass, and Proto Man are expectedly here, but so are a few Man-Men. Quick, Ice, Shadow, Napalm, Spring, and of course, the apple of Wily's eye, Gutsman, who is an absolute wrecking ball on wheels to play as with his temper tantrum ground stomps and projectile boulders. Each character has their own set of special moves, typically performed by tapping the right bumper. Everyone has an offensive or defensive maneuver, and all the drivers are different. Quickman, for instance, has passive buffs such as a speed boost and drifting capabilities. He's faster all around, but the tiniest of collisions will set him back severely. Proto also has speed on his side, as well as a powerful blast strike. Rock is the most balanced with his standard lemon pellets and charge shot. Bass is similar, Roll jumps and spins in her little Beatmobile. Iceman can freeze opponents. Shadow has a smoke screen and projectile blades. Napalm Man has powerful bombs and decent steering, but I can rarely get his projectiles to land due to their weird arc. Spring Man's moveset is confusing and situational as his boxer vehicle absorbs shocks to attack opponents. Guts is slow with a gigantic presence, but yeah, as I mentioned, a total menace. He's really tricky to overtake in a race due to his size and power. Duo and Wily are unlockable, but only playable in versus and time attack modes. In the PAL version, the former is made available after obtaining all 4 hidden components. There are a few tracks behind challenges, but if I'm being honest, I got bored after a couple of Grand Prix rounds, so I didn't get to experience everything this game has to offer. Upon winning a race, the player has the opportunity to add a piece of gear from a filthy loser's vehicle to their own. Temporary pickups, a la every other kart racer, are also available. Most are helpful, but there's an overall lack of variety, possibly due to every car already having their own assortment of gadgets. Destroying basic Mega Man style baddies peppered throughout the courses will eventually result in a new item. The counter in the top right will start spinning once you've taken down enough targets. This is a remarkably clever change to the traditional formula, as it encourages a freer style of gameplay. Most kart racers have these tidily lined up in a few specific spots, resulting in everyone rushing the same area and gaining perks simultaneously. In Battle and Chase, there's more flexibility. Careful, or Nintendo's gonna get you. We've got a barrier shield speed booster thing, blasty electrics, a bomb dump that operates on a manual explosive charge, and a nifty little gadget that turns all of the smaller enemies on the track into mines. What I would have liked to have seen were more pickups based on Robot Master weapons and themes. With so many to seek inspiration from, these perks feel a little mundane. There are a handful of racers, but each match basically boils down to a battle with one specific opponent. The rear view mirror is an intuitive way of keeping tabs on your nemesis. All of the dynamic angles and audio feedback represented here helps in maintaining a lead. The Japanese version has a few extra cutscenes and what sounds like a more in-depth play-by-play with its voice acting. There are quite a few options and more than a handful of upgrades to snap to your vehicle, so navigating the menus can be tricky for someone like me who can't speak or read the language. The PAL alternative is fine if you have the means to play it at the proper speed. A port was made available in North America, but it was dumped on the underwhelming X collection. If you must buy this wonky anniversary disc, opt for the PS2 over the GameCube version. Neither are great, but at least the controls are mapped in a human way on the Sony kit. Jumping through a few hoops by beating some games will unlock Battle and Chase. similar to how the arcade fighters were included in the classic Anniversary Collection. I guess it wasn't officially released in North America because at the time we were receiving a glut of kart clones. That's the word on the street, but I'm not sure I really buy it because this is a pretty solid one of those, from my perspective. All of the courses are colorful and varied. When it comes to presentation, this thing pops all around. Some of the trickier tracks have confusing layouts. This resulted in me accidentally getting turned around, which is extra frustrating because reversing is a hassle. Adding insult to injury is that there are a few minor hidden shortcuts in some stages, so experimentation is encouraged, but going down the wrong route penalizes you so hard that it felt too risky to explore. No rubber banding here. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm getting my point across. Basically, backing up sucks. This ain't Mario Kart, so if you're knocked out of the race, it's pretty much over. Another thing I don't care for is how it abruptly ends when an opponent crosses the finish line in versus mode.
Just stop there.
Loose.
Sometimes there's too much crap on a course. Napalm Man stage is packed with hazards and unpleasant to play through with its narrow lanes and electricity traps. This and the Wily tracks are just too damn frustrating to navigate, especially considering how jittery things get at times. I can kinda see why this kart racer wasn't favorably scored at the time or remembered as fondly as some of the others, but like I keep saying, overall, I'm a fan of the pick up and play simplicity. I think more experienced kart racer enthusiasts may feel underwhelmed by the lack of depth compared to other games in the genre. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty to fiddle with here when it comes to earned accessories and vehicle perks, but relatively speaking, it's a bit light on content, especially in the PAL version where most of the introductions and play-by-play commentary have been cut entirely. The characters jibber-jabber a lot in Japanese, but it adds to the charm. I love swapping parts out like Lego bits, but it would have been nice to have a clear, coherent, stats-based menu system. Half the time I don't even know what I'm adding to my kit. The tracks are nice to look at, but some races drag on a little long, and where's all the Mega Man stuff? Like, yeah, we've got a handful of playable racers and some familiar baddies, but why didn't they lean into the environments? We've got Iceman, Quickman, Gutsman as controllable characters, but these stages are as basic as it gets. So generic that they could belong in any cutesy racing game. I guess the same could be said about the music. Yoshinori Ono's score is upbeat, punchy, and technically sound, pun intended, but overall it lacks that Mega Man feel, which is admittedly a weird thing to say because the pieces in the franchise have run the gamut by this point. We've had punchy NES numbers, beautifully deep 16-bit tunes, moody CD quality experiments on the PlayStation and Saturn, as well as intensely poppy modern biscuits of ear candy with Mega Man 11. So radically different across the board, but somehow still Mega Man. The compositions in Battle and Chase are terrific in their own way, but feel more Street Fighter than Blue Bomber, which I suppose makes sense considering Ono's body of work. As much as I don't feel like it fits the game, it still rules. I mean, just listen to this intro theme. At the end of the day, Rockman Battle and Chase should have been an easy win for Capcom. The cool, cutesy classic characters fit in so well to the kart racing subgenre, even with the innovative item collecting mechanic and snap-on auto upgrade system, it falls a bit short where it matters. the racing. Still, if you're a Mega Man fan, I definitely recommend picking up the fully featured Japanese version. It's charming and entertaining for a few hours with a friend. Just don't go in expecting an infinitely replayable racer on the same level as Mario Kart. It's not even close. And I'm saying that as someone who's not a big Mario Kart fan. If you want a Nintendo killer, go with Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing or Transformed. Steer clear of Team Sonic Racing. What a mess. Next time on this channel, I don't know, how about some more Mega Man? So stay tuned. Some of these tracks aren't very good. They're just... What?
Wow.
So everyone's falling in because I'm first.
I'm second somehow. Oh no!
Well, spoke too soon there, didn't
Not
you?
anymore.
What? Where do I even go? What is happening? You can't even see anything. It's just so muddy. Oh, I see you bouncing around. Oh. Now, this is kind of a useless weapon I have here.
I don't even know what I have. I think I'm dropping bombs or something.
You can't swear on YouTube. You can't drop bombs here.
Oh,
How does Napalm Man drive when he just has those, those grenade stubs?
oh, yeah. Holes.
It's nice, isn't it? This is like playing... Oh! Okay, I don't really... You just slide right into that hole, like when you cross the...
Oh man. Yeah, that's hard to avoid.
I went right in, that was just all me. It's just so choppy. It's like, whoa, what? I just bounced into a hole.
I always go in that one.
Yeah.
Crevasse.
The one right after the flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you're supposed to avoid that. Because drifting is barely a thing. You just have to go slow, I guess. I don't know. This is a dumb race. This doesn't even feel like a race. It just feels like it feels like an obstacle course.
Yeah.
And our opponent is right up the top there. Whoop!
Whoa, that was the first time I didn't... Never mind.